everybody, hello. I have popped on to show you a really quick and really simple way to make one of these trug boxes. I don't know, do trugs have handles? I don't know, I think it looks like a trug. That we are going to keep the tags in that I'm going to make during the 100-day project. You don't need to be doing the 100-day project. It's just a good place to keep ephemera. They don't even have to all be tags. This one is has an Edith flavour to it, quite definitely. Look at the lovely blue tips. And we'll be making something that is, and there's my one tag that I have in it so far. We will be making something which will look exactly like this, not Edith, but same makeup, but in a much easier way than I've shown you previously. So let's get cracking then. I'm using papers from a 12 by 12 pad. I've had them, I don't know how long, but they cost me £2, so I'm guessing I've had them a while. I mean, originally there were 3, so they weren't exactly expensive. They're called Delicate Vintage, and I've pulled out 4 sheets from there, which is what I need. I've pulled out 2 of these. I don't know what they are, but they look like cotton balls to me. Is that what they are? And then these 2 that I just love. I love these 2. And on the back, I'm not keen. So great way to use them up. Okay, so I'm going to select one that will be our outside. Let's put those there. Get my scoreboard out, and you'll be amazed how quick and easy this is. So pop that on my scoreboard like that, and I'm going to score at 4 inches. Nearly forgot there what I was doing. 4 inches and 8 inches. Okay, just as easy as that. And then turn it round and score at 2 inches from that end. Turn your paper around, score 2 inches from the other end. I just do that because it's easier for me. You know, you might find that it's easier to leave it where it is. So there are my score lines. I don't know if you can see them, but they are. I'll just nip through it again. This way on, it's 4 and it's 8. Then you turn it round, and ostensibly you're scoring at 2 and 10. So that's all the scoring that needs to be done. Easy peasy so far. It is easy. It just is. It's staggeringly easy. Right, so take your scissors. I've put my Edith box in front of them, which doesn't help. There we are. And I'm just going to cut up on this side. There's my 4 inch. Let me just draw a line there so you can see that, because they're hard to see. Actually, I'll fold it, then you can see it. So that's the 4 inch one there. That's the 4 inch one there. There's the 2 inch line there. And there's the 2 inch line there. Okay, so now I'm going to cut up the 2 inch line. That is hard to see. Just either side of the score line. You know you get a bump when you score. So just cut up to that 4 inch score mark, each side of that bump that you get. And I'm kind of winging this because I can't really see it. But if it's... So then I've just got these 2 little bits here, these scrap little bits. Do the same on the other side. Where are you, line? There you are. My goodness, I just honestly can't see them. Never mind, if they're wrong, we'll just rectify them soon. Now then, I'm just going to take this, which is my cutting board, fold these in, fold the bit we want to cut out, like so, and I'm going to take my scalpel and cut those off, and that way then you don't get any of those sort of fluffy ends. So just cut that there, cut that there, like that. Do the other side. Like that. And like that. Okay, so they are just waste bits. So what happens now is this. Well, I want the other side to be the outside, so let's fold them that way. That's the way I scored them anyway. So let's fold those down. Fold these up. Like so. I'm sure you can see what's happening already. It just makes itself into a box. It's just incredible. Incredibly easy. There we are. So this middle section now becomes our base. This folds up like that. This folds up like that. And look, we have a box. It's just that easy, guys. It really is just that easy. Now, this card that I'm using is actually quite, it doesn't tell me on the thing what weight it is, but it is actually quite thin. So I'm going to line mine with the cotton ball. I'm going to call it that. I might be wrong. With the cotton ball one. So I'm going to line here, here and here in 3 panels, so it still folds nicely. And we scored these at 4, 4 and 4, so I need my panels to be just a little bit less than 4, and they can get stuck straight on. So let's get my big chopper out. I'm running out of room on this table. So this does have a direction, it goes that way. So, yeah, let me chop 4 off that way. And that should leave us with 8 by 12. There we are. So this section here, I'm going to cut into the 3 panels that we need. Just less than 4 inches. Just a touch less. And this one's probably just a little bit over 4, I would have thought. So just make sure all 3 panels are just a little bit less than the 4. Okay, so now you can ink or not ink or do what you want to do. I'm going to ink round everything because I just like that look. You don't need to do the flappy bit, but all around there. This is going to be the outside, so we want it nicely, I want mine nicely inked. As I say, you don't need to at all. Just do these. It's alive, I tell you, it's alive. go. I think that's everything that needs to be inked. So I'm going to take one of my cotton ball pieces and just make sure that it's the right size. It's just a touch too long. I cut it at 8 and I should have cut it just slightly less than 8 just to fit it inside the panels. So it's just trim a tiny bit off there and a tiny bit off the other 2 panels as well for the same reason. Just move that, I don't want to cut it. There we go. Right, so they should fit now. That's the theory. So you're going to fit there for me? Perfectly. Okay, so now you can decide whether to ink or not ink. It's the inside, so I guess it's not critical, but you know, I like me some ink. Not tattoos. I don't like people who are too heavily tattooed. Mr. F and I both have a tattoo, would you believe that? Mr. F says F and mine says J. There you go. There's something you didn't know. Right, so that's going to go there. It's going to fit in nicely, but it is just a touch too wide. So let's just give that a bit of a trim down. It's just with them going into the panels, they just need to be a little bit smaller than the 4x8 that we've allowed. Not much, but enough to make a difference. Enough to make them fit or not fit. Let's try that and see. We can always trim a bit more if necessary. I think that's okay. And I think that's okay. Excellent. So let's ink round these and get them stuck down. This is just the quickest way to make a fairly substantial and robust box. So this will be my 4th, but this is only the 2nd one I've made this way. And I feel like I want to go on and make more. But I haven't got room, they're taking over everywhere. And I can't think of any excuse why I need another one, to be honest. Right, so let's stick these down. Then we can move on to the ends, which you will see are absolutely so easy. My glue's not being in the best of moods, but it's good enough. There we are. So stick that over that panel. Like that. Just make sure your ends close, your sides close. Yeah, lovely. Lovely, yeah, that's great. Let's glue this one. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it's too wide. You can always trim it when it's in place. But once I'd worked this out, I was determined to show you and you know, start with the 4 pieces of card and show you it from start to finish, so you could just see just how quick and simple it is. So that folds over, yeah, lovely. Now this one. And of course you can use any card that you like. You could use Timmy, it would look fabulous in Timmy. papers. I mean, it really would. I've got some craft consortium papers that are sort of, well, quite timified, really, like really grungy. They would look great. Let's just check that fits, check that fits. Yeah, okay. So that's our gluing done, of the panels at any rate. So the next thing that happens is these two come in like so, and this end comes up. So we need to glue this. I'm using Collall, which is not the most immediate grippy glue that you can use. If you've got some, probably tacky glue actually would work really well. So hold the two pieces like that up, and they should meet just about, and then fold the outside piece, this side piece, up, and then you just have to hold them in place just for a minute till they get the idea that that's what's happening. It's doing all right. I'm just going to put it that way and just press that down. Don't worry that this doesn't match, the inside doesn't match. We have a solution for that, the perfect solution. So those are meeting nicely. They feel a little bit stuck down. I wouldn't say brilliantly stuck down, but enough maybe to let us move on to the other end. So it's the same thing here. You glue this central section. Let's put them there out of the way. Hold these two sections in, and they should just about touch, and fold this section up over them like that. So just hold those in place just for a second, and then we'll get the hang of it. I'm just going to turn that over like before. Make sure they're in the right place. Just get my bone folder and just give them a good squash. They're not dry enough yet. Just going to have to be patient. Press them down with my fingers. So there we are. That's the actual rudiments of the box. I mean, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So now we need to address the situation with the ends. And what we're going to do is make two tags. It's going to be a box for keeping tags in, pretty much. So let's get the papers that we need, and I'm going to make two in the cotton ball pattern. So let's cut those, and I want them to be 4 inches. I don't really want to be too rough with that at the minute. It's still quite fragile. So I want them to be 4 inches. And I need 2 strips. You ostensibly need 2 pieces that are 7.5 by 4. So whichever way you think is the most economic way of cutting your card, that's the way to do it. And there's some nice remnants that you can make tags with if you want to. And then we've got this piece, and we need to cut 2 out of that. Not sure this has a top and a bottom. Seems to go always. So I'm just going to do the same, cut 2 4-inch strips. There we go. Now I want mine to be 7.5 tall. So I'm going to cut off 4.5 off here, and that'll leave me 7.5. I could put my extension on, but I'm just too lazy, okay? So this way I can just cut off 4.5, and that'll leave me 7 and, oops, it's moved. That's no good. So I'm cutting that off, and that leaves me 7.5 by 8. I'm going to do the same to the other one. And the same to the 2 cotton ball ones. Got some nice remnants here, guys, that I'm sure you'll be seeing pretty soon in the guise of a tag or something similar. There we are. So that's all our cutting done. As I say, some nice remnants, but I'll come up with a nice project for those. So we've got 4 of these, 2 in that colour and 2 in the cotton ball. Okay, so what we're going to do is, the cotton ball's on the inside, so I'm going to put that down there. Just make sure that it fits. That's just pushing that out ever so slightly, I think. Ever so slightly. So I just need a little bit off the width of that. And what's this one looking like? Yeah, the same. So obviously the inner ones need to be slightly less than the 4. Just slightly. Let's try that. That's just perfect. Look, there's nothing impeding it at all. Right, so let's ink round this and let's glue it in place. You will notice it's not a tag shape yet. It will be a tag shape. But just not cutting it into a tag shape quite yet until I get the other ones in place, and then we can cut them off together and they'll match. There we go. Okay, so these want to be stuck in on the inside to match the cotton ball. So I'm standing that up, and I'm just going to make myself a mark where I need to glue up to. So there and there. Let's get the collal out and do that. So just up to that line that we drew. Yuck. Glue's going everywhere. Pop that in place like that. Let's get my towel and wipe that gluey mess up, and then just press it down into place, and it fits just perfectly. It's really nicely. And then let's do the other one. So that's going to go in like that. Yeah. As you can see, there's nothing impeding it. It can fall down at will. And I'm just going to draw my lines in here where the glue comes to, just at the top of my end there. Glue that one. So I'm hoping that I did show how to make a box on Sunday, but it was a very convoluted kind of box, and I have been thinking about it since then, which is why I came up with this idea. And I want you to know it was my idea, was not Mr. F's. I thought of it all on my own. There, that's looking great. Looking marvellous. So now all we have to do is put these on the outside. Now they shouldn't need any cutting down. They should be all right. But let's just offer them up and see what what's what, just in case. No, I think that's perfect. So I'm going to ink around there and then glue that in place. So yeah, I think Sunday's instructions might have put some of you off. Some of you, pun intended, boxed clever and used an existing box and put the ends on it. I know Jen did that, and I think other people did that as well. I just can't remember who. Did Judy do that? I think maybe. But in any case, this is one that you can all tackle. I know that. I know it. You just need those 12 by 12s that you've been keeping for no reason whatsoever. And we all have them. So let's just get some glue on here. Yeah, we're all lulled into buying those 12 by 12s, aren't we, when we're in the shop? You know, you've already bought something, you've got something in your basket, so the first pangs of guilt have gone because you've talked yourself into buying something. And then you see the 12 by 12s and you think, oh, well, yeah, I like that page. Oh, I like that page. So you see 3 or 4 pages that you like and you completely forget that there's sort of 24 pages in the pad and you maybe don't like the others. So you get them home, you look at them and you think, I'll put that in the cupboard for another time. So what I want to do here is, glue everywhere, is line up the top with the top of the other one, there, like that. And it should fit, and it does fit, just perfectly down to the bottom. So that's great. That couldn't have worked out better. So just press that down. There we go. And I'm just going to do the same with the other end. Yeah, I mean, I'm not awfully keen on that. But I do like these sort of naturally neutral beigey ones. They are useful. So I can see why I talked myself into that. Although for £2, I mean, the whole pad was £2. I can hear my logic in the shop. It's £2. Why would you not buy it? So same here, line this up with the top. And then it should just be perfect on the bottom. And that's that. There's no trickery, no magic. It just works. Get rid of some of this glue on my hand. So there we go. That's lovely. All lined up, all beautiful. Let's get rid of this board. I don't need it anymore. And now I'm just going to cut my, okay, where's my lid here? Cut my corners on my tags. Using the template that I always use, my old driver's license. And these are all matching up now perfectly. So I'm just going to hold them there and cut both together. And that way then we can't go wrong really, can we? When you first do it, depending obviously on the thickness of your card, it feels slightly flippy floppy. But actually as it sets up and the glue hardens, there's 2 layers of card there, so it's, you know, it's not flippy floppy, it's fine. Cut this one off to match. Lovely. Same on the other end. I don't know, I just think they're great. I really love them. I've fallen in love with them. There we go, and that just needs a little bit of ink. where I've just cut the corner off. So you could do any colour, any theme, whatever you fancy. And there we have it. I don't know how long that took. I wasn't really competing against myself. I just wanted you to see just how straightforward and easy that is. And it's really, I mean, I made this one in neutrals, but it's lovely, isn't it? It's really great. And you can keep all your tags in there. One of my Timmy ones, one of my pretty ones, one of my Edith ones. So you see, they all just fit in there. I mean, that's 3 in there, and we've still got loads of room. So that's it for now. I really hope you have fun making yours, using up those 12 by 12s that you really couldn't think of another use for. And like I say, at first it does feel slightly flippy floppy, but once it all sets up, it's really good. It's sturdy enough for what we want. So thank you very much for joining me again, and I will be back very soon. Take care all. Bye.